Every day we come into Poland and they send us back.
Have your border force been pushing migrants back into Belarus?
We don't know how many other deaths, are there in the forest.
We know at least 4 migrants have died. The world simply isn't getting to know what's happening there. We've just heard that a group of men, possibly as many as 10 of them, have managed to get across the border. So they've left Belarus, they're now here in Poland. Apparently they're in the woodland around here. We're going to try and find them. The men we meet thought they were going to die, here in the freezing forest. Kelly and his brother Owen are from Nigeria. They claim they've been pushed back and forth by both Belarusian and Polish border guards for the past 3 weeks.
We are playing us like a football. The Belarus will beat us, push us to Poland. The Poland will catch us, beat us, push us back to Belarus.
These 10 men say they'd flown to Belarus from various countries with the promise they'd be able to travel on to a neighbouring country in the EU.
They threatened us by their gun. There was a time they released a bullet. We're scared. We don't want them to shoot us.
EU countries put economic sanctions on Belarus after a crackdown on political opponents. Now they accuse it of sending migrants their way in retaliation to try to destabilise the region. 21-year-old Magellan from Cameroon explains how the Belarusian forces led them to the Polish border.
They take us at night, around sometimes 8 o'clock, sometimes 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. They monitor the Polish police across the border. They tell us this way, there's no Polish police. So they will tell us we must cross those wires. So we creep, we crawl under, and then while we go inside, maybe if the Polish police happens to see you, they will take you back.
We can see a lot of people here are not in a good state. Apparently a doctor's on the way, but also the border force are on the way, so it's not clear what's going to happen to these men. EU members Poland, Lithuania and Latvia have each declared a state of emergency along their border in response to a huge rise in the number of attempted crossings from Belarus. We try to reach the area that Poland has sealed off. Aid organisations and journalists are now banned from entering. British journalists?
You can't go into this area.
Well, it was pretty obvious the border official wasn't going to let us into the restricted area. And human rights groups are really worried about what's happening inside this place. We know at least 4 migrants have died. And the concern is the world simply isn't getting to know what's happening there. This video, released by the Belarusian authorities, claims to show the body of an Iraqi woman on the border. This man is said to be her husband. 3 other migrants died the same day she did. The Polish parliament has voted that migrants can be pushed back over the border, a tactic illegal under international law.
Jest to już zorganizowany, można powiedzieć, szturm na granicę polską i my się na pewno nie ugniemy i nie możemy być przedmiotem szantażu.
We're back in the forest. Another young man stumbles across the group. Jafar is a 20-year-old from Iraq. He says he hasn't had food or water for 3 days. He's got hypothermia. Activists are trying to find those stranded on the border, feeding and clothing them and helping with asylum claims.
We don't know how many other deaths, are there in the forest. Politicians are talking about politics, but what we can see is just people. It's not politics at all. It's just people that need assistance, people that need medical assistance, people that need international protection to not be returned to the country where they face danger. So here on the ground, it's absolutely not politics. It's just humanitarian crisis that we are dealing with right now.
The fear among charities, human rights groups, is that we're going to be seeing more of this because more people are coming to Belarus, more people are trying to get across the border into Poland, into the European Union. Michael is a father of 3 from Sri Lanka.
I asked to call my wife. No. They refused to give at least one single minute call.
He says there was no sympathy from the Polish side.
I pray to God I will make it. I'm a Catholic. Anyway, I made it.
The EU says Belarus has created this crisis. Belarus says Western politicians are to blame.
If the Belarusian could send me back to my country, fine. Yeah, I'll be okay. Better I die in my country, but this is my passport. This is my SIM cards. A SIM card, so we have no communication.
The Polish border guards, assisted by armed troops, begin to clear the area. And so have your border force been pushing migrants back into Belarus? Talk to our press office, he tells us. Magellan, the 21-year-old from Cameroon, is one of 3 men taken to hospital. The others will be driven to a quarantine facility, but all fear they will be sent back across the border once again.